Bearded Redneck here. Going to take some time to show you a catfish rig. Getting about that time, the catfish are just getting ready to spawn around here right now, so they're going to kind of go on a dead spree for a little bit during this, but they're going to pick up. But I wanted to show you a couple of catfish rigs that I use that you probably used before, but maybe I can give you a couple tips on them. So we're going to start this right now. All right, guys, Bearded Redneck here. Thanks a lot for tuning back in. For you new time guys, make sure you hit that subscriber button. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Comments, I love them. Let me know your comments. Definitely, we're going to have a lot of stuff going on here. So I'm going to show you a couple of catfish rigs that I do here. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you a couple of my catfishing rigs that I use when I'm going after some bigger cats. What we got here, this is a 7-foot Berkeley lightning rod. Now, usually I'll put like an Abu Garcia, like 6500 or 7000 series on here, but I kind of like these for when I'm fishing around here in some of the bodies of water. This is an 888 Zebco, old school, but it works really good. I love it. It's got a bait clicker on it, just like the open faces do. So I use that. Right now, what I got on here is 20-pound line. And it's a mono actually. But I'll probably switch over to probably a 40-pound braided line. But this is what I got right now, and being down with the foot, gotta use what I got. So, how do I rig up? What I first do is I put the slide on, and this slide is for the sinker. And I'll show you why the advantage of that is here in a second. So I'll put my slide on, then I put a barrel swivel on. The knot that I use for about everything, unless I'm connecting two lines, is a polymer knot. It's a very simple knot, but it's a very strong knot. It's an easy knot. Double your line, do an overhand knot, so you got a loop, then you got this loop end. Then you just take your lure or your swivel or whatever and you pull it tight. Now I kind of pull it tight with both of them, but where you want to put all the tension is on your tag end, especially with mono. You can get away with it with a braided line a little more, but it's going to curl a little bit. So you'll have a curl in your line if you pull on your main line. So we'll cut this off here. And I usually leave a little bit of a tag. But this knot is amazing. Okay, so I got my barrel swivel on here. And we screwed up. So we're going to take it back off. The reason we screwed up is we got this slide, and this slide is for the sinker. It'll slide down and it'll hit your knot and it'll kind of wear on it. So a trick that I use is I take a bead and I put a bead on. That bead, some people say it makes a little clicking noise if you're bass fishing, but what that does is it kind of is a little dampener for the barrel swivel. So we'll do that barrel swivel again here. Like I said, you just go overhand knot with the double line. You got your loop end, stick your barrel swivel through it. Now with the bigger line, sometimes you want to wet it up a little bit. And like I said, you pull that tag end with most of it, because see how it curls? Otherwise it'll curl your line. I don't know, it kind of stresses it, so I don't really like doing that. So we'll see here. My Gerber here, I lost one of my little deal bobbers. See that little round thing there? I lost it. Now if you guys know, let me know, but I thought you could get Gerbers like fixed or they were guaranteed for life. I'm not sure, but if you know, let me know. I'd appreciate that. So we'll cut this little piece off here. Okay, now with these, Sometimes what I'll do is maybe my main line's are braided, and then I'll use a monofilament or a fluorocarbon. Now remember, fluorocarbon sinks. So if you want something not to be laying on the bottom, don't use fluorocarbon because it's going to want to make it lay down more. If you're using a bigger chub or something, it might not help as much, but mono will hold up higher. So I'm just going to use the same poundage here. We'll use our teeth. I got a number 8 Gamakatsu, just a regular bait hook here. You could use a snap down here if you want to, but just for this purpose, I'm just going to use that same knot again. If we can get it through there. Stick it around the hook. And then grab your tag in and pull it tight. And there it is. Some people use a steel leader, some people use a wire. Kind of depends if you got teeth with, or fish out there with teeth. If you got a lot of gar, probably going to want to use some kind of steel or maybe a steel leader type deal. But what we'll do here is we'll just go right to the barrel swivel. Like I said, you barrel swivels are huge when you're catfishing. Catfish love to roll. So you definitely, more barrel swivels, the better. Anything that spins like that, because if you ever notice when you get a big cat, they like to go to timber and they love to roll. And what they're doing is they're trying to break your line. So barrel swivels, make sure you're using them. Okay, now we just pull that through using that same polymer knot. And then, like I said here, you'll want to do the tag end like that. Okay, so why do we have this slide? Well, as you can see in front of me, here's a 4-ounce weight. Here's a 16-ounce weight. Now, do you need to always go that high? No, but right now where I'm going to be fishing is going to be fast water, below rapids. I need my bait to stay down where I need it. So I might need to adjust. So the nice thing, first of all, is it's got this big stamp on here. If I can adjust down to a 4-ounce, I'm going to use it. But if I need to go up to this big dog, I can go up to a 16. So I'll just I'm grabbing an 8 here, and I'm going to snap it on here. Now look at that hole. See that? If this is sliding up and down your line, it's eventually going to wear on it. And if there's nicks in your line from rocks or from fish rolling or what have you, this is going to wear on your line. So that's why I use one of these snaps. Because as you can see, it slides through there. So this slides down and we got that bead there. See how it's protecting that knot a little bit? Right there, bam. And then you'll want to adjust your leader here. What you can kind of determine that by is if it's really snaggy, you're going to want it closer. You want a shorter leader. If you got more room, and let's say there isn't a lot of snags around, then you can go out a little farther. Now another thing sometimes is I'll put a float on here to pop it up a little, you know, but what I'm using is I'll be using the bowl heads. So I'll be using bowl heads like this big and hooking them through the back with this hook. And that's why I got an 8-aught hook here, is because I want that hook tip exposed, because if it isn't exposed, if they just grab it, it could be buried inside the fish and I might not get a good hook set. So this is one of my good rigs right here, like this. Now, I like this one because I can let it take the bait. It slides along. Now, what's the other one? The other one is a 3-way. And the reason I do the 3-way rig is because it's really snaggy. So, I use one of these. See how it's a barrel swivel on a barrel swivel? You can use it like this. They make actual 3-way rigs. Make sure if you're going after big catfish that you get the stronger ones. There's some weaker ones. There's some stronger ones. So, what we want to do is we'll hook this guy on. Same knot. And this knot is awesome. This reason I use this knot so is it's quick, it's easy, and it works for braided line. Some of the knots, if you guys haven't noticed with the braided line, they don't hold. Okay, so we got it hooked on the one side. Then we'll just use this leader short here, just for demonstrational purposes here. So it's going to be pretty short, which you'll get the gist of it, I guess. But let's get this on here, and then I'll show you why this rig is so good and why it would work in certain circumstances. Okay, so got the hook through, grab my tag end. Okay, so this is real short here, but you'll be able to get the gist of things like I said. So now we got the bait here, and then we got that one sticking down. So what we want to do here is we want to use a lighter line. And the reason is if it's really snaggy and you don't move your bait, when you get a fish, this could get snagged. Well, you want a lighter line dropping down to your sinker so it breaks off and then you can catch your fish still. It works really good. Snaggy rock conditions, a lot of timber, different things where you could get stuck. But this here is a 12-pound line. We'll just grab some of this. Dentist has got to love watching this video. But what we'll do, and some people I've even seen, is they just do like, they don't even do it that good. They just simply overhand knot it, which that works because they want it to pull out. But you can do the same type of drop. Okay. So we're going to put the drop weight on. Like I said, I'm going to do it the way that some people do it right now, just for demonstrational purposes. But I usually use the polymer knot, but some people just do a simple overhand knot so this sinker comes off even easier when it needs to. I think it comes off too easy then because I still like to get my stuff back. Alright. So as you can see how that weight hangs down and we got the lighter line and then we got our bait coming out. Now there's swivels that go, there's the swivel that goes down to your drop weight, and then there's also swivel here. So you got double swivel. So this one here, like I said, would work real good for snaggy conditions. So make sure you try these in your arsenal because they do work real well. And like I said, those slides work amazing as far as not wearing on your line. So I hope that these rigs will help you in your arsenal when you go out fishing next time. Make sure that you match the conditions to what you're fishing. If you're going to be catching big fish, bigger than 20-pound fish, then don't use 20-pound line unless you're trying to set some crazy record. Make sure you're matching the conditions as far as weights, because if you got a lot of fast current and you can't keep your bait down there, well then your success rate is going to go way down. And also make sure that you get the right size hooks. Make sure the bait you're using and the fish that you're catching, that you get the right size hook. Now, do you always need an 8-aught? No. Match to the fish or match to what you're fishing for. So take these out and put them in your arsenal. They're definitely going to help you. Stay tuned because we will have a couple of videos of actually putting these to use. And I'm sure we'll have some other stuff going on. So thanks for watching. And we'll be looking forward to you tuning in next time. You guys have a good one.